Okay, good.
Buongiorno a tutti and welcome at this very, very interesting interview for the Ark Lab. I could not be more happy today because our guest is Isis Eich, and Isis Eich is our mentor in the Ark Lab program for the Biohacking Lab. So Isis, just let me say two words about how we met. We met almost 2 years ago in Brazil when we were running the program in Exosphere, and
Yes.
Isis was, the mentor of the Biohacking Lab, and Isis made such a wonderful job that when we decided to do the program here in Italy, this program, the Ark Lab program, where we were, putting a lot of effort in biohacking, I said, listen, I have to go and to ask Isis if she will be willing to be our, leader, our mentor in the biohacking lab. But thanks God, Isis said yes. So we are very happy to have you here in the program. And just, introduce briefly yourself, and then we will go into our, debate. Just introduce you very, very shortly, if you want.
Okay. Thank you, Antonio, for receiving me. I'm very happy to talk to you again. I'm very excited about going to the Ark Lab in Italy soon.
Good.
And what I can talk about myself briefly, I think that which is important for the program specific
Yes.
is that I have a very interdisciplinary background. I
Yes.
have a bachelor degree in science and technology. I also have a post-graduation degree in biotechnology itself. I
Wow.
have another bachelor in international commerce. I also have studied and graduated in English literature
Wow.
and some other things. So, and the reason that I am mentioning all of that is to show that biotechnology is also a field that it is interdisciplinary, and we can aggregate several different professionals from different areas and do a great job with that.
Yeah. This is actually beautiful because, in our program, we used to say that we are going to create this kind of holistic process where we are going to unite, science, reason, and spirit. And, such background, that it is interdisciplinary again, and you went from literature to science to biotechnology. So you were kind of holistic, as we used to say, holistic background, which is perfect. So let them tell me about, something about I mean, about the biohacking lab. What is, two words about biohacking? What is this science, and what is the lab that you are going to run in the Ark Lab? So two words about, biohacking. What is biohacking for you, and then how you will like to put such a new, vision of science in an actual program that you are going to run here in Italy.
Yes, for sure. I think it would be good for this particular
Yeah.
question to make a link between what happened in Exosphere and what has been happening since then until now, and
Yes.
what will happen in the Ark Lab.
Yes. Yes.
Because to me, biohacking means just take biotechnology with your own hands and
Yeah.
take that for yourself and do biotechnology on demand. So you uh, learn and know
Yeah.
exactly how to apply some biotechnology techniques for your own purpose. Those purposes could be health, could
Yeah.
be developing a product, could be
Yeah.
more towards to entrepreneurship, could be
Yeah.
more towards art. It depends on the goal of the people that are participating on the program.
Yes. Yes.
And back then, during the Exosphere program, particularly, we were back then very focused on the entrepreneurship part. So all students were willing to develop a product, and they did.
Yes. Yes.
During my stream, we had 6 teams, and all the teams
Yes.
developed a minimum viable product that
Yes.
had some component of biotechnology. Some things were amazing, some things were, using bacteria to generate power,
Yeah.
using bacteria to degrade plastic, using
Yes.
a consortium of bacteria to produce chitosan, and
Yes.
things like that.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
from there, during the program, we had all the students were adults, but they have
Yeah.
different backgrounds. Not all of them at Exosphere were from biology. came from biology. So we had engineers, like a computer engineer, we have people from marketing and so on. And we also have people from different countries. So we have Italy, people from Italy.
Yes,
like
I know. We have a lot, a good team of Italy. Yes.
and from the US, from Canada, from Latin America, from Colombia. And so it was a very diverse in every sense that you can imagine, because we have all profiles in the same course, and it was a very rich program. So it was very exciting to work there. We spent several hours at the lab all day, almost the whole day at the lab, and it was always really fun. And once we finished the program, so that you can see how this entrepreneurship goes a long way, we continued to talk. I still have contact with all the students. We became friends. And with particular two other students, we started to develop a further project and product together in a decentralized way. And we spent around a year doing the research and development of the program. And now we have a company where we are all partners, and this company is called Portunus, and this company is based first in the US, where the main activities started. Now we are incorporating here in Brazil. We just did.
Wow, beautiful.
And in Brazil, we are not only doing this, producing this particular product that we started around 2 years ago, the research and development and everything. But we are also offering, which is the first kind of this service in Latin America, we are also offering open innovation in research and development for companies. That if you have a company that wants to develop a particular product in biotechnology and you don't want to do the research inside the company, you can come to us. And so we do this kind of open innovation on demand, this biotechnology on demand. It's another activity of Portunus. And all of this started in a biohacking class. So it's very,
I mean,
it's a long
beautiful.
way. And now we are willing to do a similar approach in the Ark Lab, but more focused on the particular problems that Italy has. So we are aware that in South Italy, in the production of olives, in the production of grapes, those crops have been attacked for a particular bacteria, and we are willing to work with students that want to solve this problem. And of course, that in 2 months we will not solve the problem, but we can teach them all the tools that they need to keep researching later, and if they want to further go on in that direction. But for those who are not focused on this kind of product development, we also have a part of the program that is meant for art and biotechnology, that is meant for health and biotechnology. We meant to go into all spheres and give people a very broad panel, and all the techniques from which, from the program on, they can continue and do their own, their own will on biotechnology.
How I could not apply to the program how you describe I mean, it's because you're saying such important you're saying such important things. Let me list them and start because you say that first, and this is also a question. You're saying that basically anyone can go into biotechnology.
Of course.
Anyone can learn to put their hands in biotechnology first. How you can say this? I mean, how you can say that I can came in the program, in biotech program in 2 months? Of course, I'm not going to be a full scientist, of course, I need time. But you say that I can learn how to learn.
Yes.
By a bioscientist, right?
Yes, you have what we are offering is have given the student all the tools, so if he or she did not have contact with biotechnology yet, he will have a first contact from the very beginning, from growing microorganisms, from knowing how to work with plates, from doing simple techniques like PCR inside the lab, to more complex techniques that are doing only inside the university nowadays. Apart, of course, from the biohackers, it's only inside academy, like CRISPR and other kinds of genetic modification. So they will have contact with all those techniques. They will learn how to do it, and they, of course, that's a first contact. But from there, they can keep researching and keep studying, and I think that it's a very exciting time to be alive on biotechnology, because practically everything is possible to do with that.
I mean, this is it's very strong what you're saying, because this is also very important, because is a key in what we are trying to do here. Because I can also, you know, say, I can use some kind of, could say, strong word, but basically what we are trying to do is to show to the world that you can become a scientist even if you don't spend 10 years in the same university or technical university, which is that we are saying, okay, you need to sacrifice, you need to learn, you need to have the pain of learning, of grow, but basically we say you don't need anymore to spend years and years in some university somewhere if you learn exactly how to learn and how to be confident with yourself. I mean, this is what you did in the biohacking, you know, lab in Exosphere in Brazil, because I remember that were people coming from exactly another science. It was a computer, he was a coder. I said, how at the beginning he was saying, how I can even think that I will become a biohacker. But I remember the same guy making a wonderful presentation and the demo day when he made an incredible product process in 6 weeks.
Yes, yes. That's about the tools, and I think that science is not done only inside academy. So of course anyone can be a scientist, and of course you don't become a scientist in 2 months. That's
No,
impossible.
exactly.
What we are offering in the program is a panel of the techniques, and so you can choose and learn how to learn, and then to become a real scientist you will need to keep studying forever.
Yes,
Practically.
yes, exactly. Exactly. So, can you describe very, very shortly about what is how is going to happen? What is going to be the dynamic about such a lab during the program, and how we can approach, you know, different people, because, you know, we say in the Ark Lab we are going to have different people coming from different places in the world, from all over the world, from different background, and then they are going to share together one lab. How you will, you know, how you will challenge such diversity?
I
So
think
what
that
is,
I think from the sciences, from what we call today emergence in
yes,
sciences, emerging technologies, biotechnology is the most exciting, because literally anyone can enter in, and it has a very creative process, because it's about creation. You create new things with biotechnology. You modify organisms, you can modify yourself, you can create products. So if the person that wants to enter the program has a profile that's more towards humanities, maybe he will like more the creation aspect of it. Maybe if the person has a more technical profile, maybe he will enjoy more learning all the techniques itself and all the process that it could be applied in an industry or something like that. But he will also have this particular leading on the techniques. So we have a little bit of everything for everyone. And I think that biotechnology has it. It's not that specifically the Ark Lab has it, but it's this science is so
yes,
compelling and so addictive, because it
yes.
embraces all these elements together.
Yes, exactly. And then the beauty of the lab is that you are going to start to make things, to use your hands
Yes,
since the, let's say, the day one. Since the day
yes,
one, you're going to put, and someone asked, someone, I met people when I talk about the Ark Lab and say, but yes, but I'm an engineer, yes, I am also, a coder, yes, but how you can say that I'm going to put my hand in biotech. I'm not a biologist. And then it's hard to me to explain, listen, you don't need to start like a biologist. You need to be willing to let it go, basically, and to learn and to open up yourself. This is why we are also working about what we say metaphysics, which is starting to work on yourself, because the limit is not the science as it itself. The limit is your mental barrier that you think I'm an engineer and I could never be a biologist. No, it's exactly what you are saying, that you can do everything. Right.
Yeah, actually, synthetic biology is exactly you have a Venn diagram between three areas. And one of them is engineering. Then you have biology, and you also have nanotechnology. And when all of them interlace, you have synthetic biology in the middle. So you do have a very strong of this hardcore science that we have chemistry, we have physics. So if a person is more into the math part, they can also go, and it's okay. But what we are doing is a very hard hands-on process. So people will experiment biotechnology. They will not just learn the theory. They will have the theory too, but the theory is something that is everywhere. If you have the guide, if you have the way, and we will give them, also the tools and where to find the information, where to find credible information about technology. But the theory they can learn by themselves. The fun part is really doing things in the lab, and that's what they will be doing there.
Yes. I mean, yes, I used to say that, we can even say that even if you're a lawyer, even if you're an accountant, but you love mathematics, you have this kind of mind that is easy with the tools or with the making things or with to learn, you can come. You don't need to be a biologist, engineer to make a biohack. Yes, if I'm a biology engineer, you're going to be more easier for you. But even if you're a lawyer and you are realizing that you are bored about your job, but you are always, when you have free time, you are reading science, this is the place for you, because you are going to enjoy what you are doing. And this is something that is, I think, one of the beauty of the what we call biohacking of this emerging technology. And another thing that I will ask you is that think about that in the Ark Lab we are going to have basically two labs, one close to the other. So we are going to have also smart manufacturing. So we are going to have a lab when we can build gadgets, we can build widgets. So think about which kind of synergy you can find with the other lab, which is working in creating, 3D printing, Arduinos, widget, and how them we will find useful also to jump in the other part and started to see how the biology world is just a big opportunity for them, right?
Yes, those are also two areas that are very interlaced, and they go together in biohacking, because there are a lot of biohackers out there that do their own equipment. Not all of their equipment, but a great deal of it, and it's functional and it works well and it's very low cost. So that's an important skill for a biologist to learn too. The hardware part. And even I am willing to go into that stream and the other
of course. you're going to spend your time just in there to study to learn. Because, you mentioned before that one of the actually is also the business of your company, that you are making open innovation. So you are actually making research and development for local companies, for local entrepreneurs that couldn't allow to make research program that usually has been made in university or in the big companies. So this is also one of the key of our program here in the Ark Lab, because as you know, we are going to basically work for the local ecosystem. And we have here in Puglia, there is a huge market of agri-industrial business. You know, agriculture here is very big. So we have a lot of small entrepreneurs in winery, in olive oil, in cheese. You know, we are going to actually where we are going to have our lab is the place where mozzarella and burrata was invented. So we have a lot of this kind of products that needs a lot of innovation. So can you say something about how this process, you know, can be done, and also what is the good for the students that can come here and work with real problems?
Okay. Well, for the students that are not used to, I think there will be a lot of them that are familiar with the concept, but some of them might not. There are two ways that companies could do innovation. They could do innovation inside the own company, and then everything is protected, and then they have patents on it, and they have scientists that they hire, and the scientists don't own the patent, the company owns it, and it's all closed and secret and developed inside doors. And there is this other process, which is open innovation, which is the company can hire someone else to do the research, some other scientist, and the innovation is decentralized. It does not happen anymore inside the company. And that doesn't mean that necessarily it won't be a patent. That depends on the agreement that the scientists and the company have. You know, if they decide that it will be closed in the sense of having a patent, they will. If they don't, they can develop something that would benefit all of their community, and then it could be open, including in the sense that will be open information for people to be able to build something else and more knowledge upon what they already have built. Right. So what we are doing is the second. We are working during the Ark Lab with open innovation, and we are willing that our students have the same purpose and goals to help the community. So as I said before, in 2 months, we are not solving the problems. We are presenting the tools, and it's upon them and their personality and you know, and how much they are determined to do that. They can go on and keep researching and keep studying on the particular problem that they decided to solve. And maybe they will develop a solution, as we did just after Exosphere. As I told you, me and the 2 other students that now are my partners, we continued to work outside the program by ourselves independently during 1 year on research and development and 2 years total in the company. So what we have in the program is a jump start. So it's for the people to have the necessary tools to, you know, to be passionate about biotechnology and to have the direction, because right now those people might be inside a company and be either held by the company because they cannot develop anything that the company does not want them to develop, or being inside academy, as I was once, and then inside academy also the research are very you know, have a specific direction, and maybe they want to run to another direction, and they don't know where to start, and we are going to help them where to start, you know, how to go out the system, and how to do your own thing. And then once they do that, then they go, maybe they have contacts with the farmers, and then the farmers will present them a specific problem, and they can also make a contract with them and work for them to develop this specific solution to the farmer's problem. But I just want to be clear that that's a long-term process that they will keep doing after the program too, right?
Yes. I mean, you know, I'm the king here in Puglia, as you know. So and I was going around in the last weeks talking with a lot of friends that I have here, farmers, and it's amazing how, you know, how willing they are to open up their company, their secrets, and how many problems, little problems that they have, that they can be solved. I don't want to say easily, But I was talking with a farmer here, and he says, listen, this is an olive oil producer, and he said, listen, if someone come to me here and give me a widget where I can measure every day, for example, just a little content about some chemical inside the plant.
Yes, yes.
He said, if I have this and I can have two numbers with something that is already here, I will be the most happy man in the world, because no one is caring, about me, he says, basically. Because if I go into university here and say, I will wish, he said, listen, but what is your program? Well, put in this program, and then you have to put this and papers, and you will never get anything. So this is a giant opportunity for us here, for our students, because they can come here with, I can put on the tables a lot of
And
real
in this
problems.
in this particular problem that you described, you could have a hardware solution, as he said, like you'd have a sensor that is a hardware sensor to see these chemical properties of the plant. But you could also work with biomarkers. So in the biotechnology stream, in biotech stream, we could develop specific biomarkers that the farmers could use for that particular plant that he's growing, and for the particular information that he is willing to get. And
Yes.
also, there are some other things that right now, maybe the farmers, if they want a plant that has a specific, that was already modified and has some resistance to some kind of plague or whatever, they might buy the seed from some particular company, from some private company. But it's very easy to do it. Maybe depending upon the modification that they want, the same resistant with CRISPR, and maybe they can do it themselves. They don't need to buy it from a
Yeah, I
big
mean,
private company.
yes,
You
yes.
know, so
This is very exciting. This is very exciting because I mean, we are going to cover, a territory that is completely uncovered.
yeah,
So this is a huge space for us here, and this is, I think, the most exciting part of our program. So Puglia, the whole region is waiting for you here, and you're going to be very, very, very welcome here, because they need us, and we need them. So Isis, do you want to say something more? Because to me, it's already too exciting what you are saying. So I don't want to go, I don't want to excite too much, but it's really very, very exciting what you're saying. And if you have something more to say,
oh, I just have something, some spoilers to give. Like, if you stay tuned, on April 25, we will be launching a campaign in Brazil that will be the first one in South America specifically.
wow.
That's something that already is happening in Mexico, but Brazil is going to lead that in South America, and Portunus is going to lead that specifically in Brazil.
Wow,
We
this
are
is
going to
beautiful.
we are going to do the genetic mapping of the Brazilian population with a lot of big partners here in Brazil too, and with some partners that are from outside. We are doing this genetic mapping through sequencing, and all the genetic information will be stored in the blockchain through a partner that is from San Francisco, genobank.io. And we are very excited about the project too, so stay tuned about those news.
I mean, it's a really exciting, and it's beautiful. I mean, this is something that, of course, we are going to follow very, very carefully, and we are very open to, to get all this insightful, development. And yes, you mentioned blockchain. This is something that we have to mention. Here, we are going also to work with the blockchain, to artificial intelligence, machine learning. So all the what we call, exponential technologies, because all those technologies are linked. If you are getting me an example, you are already mapping, this work of mapping with the blockchain. So there's natural links. And
Yes.
so I think that we're going to have more interviews in the future, because during, we are still 6 months, left
Yes.
program. So we are going, I will love to have also, specific interview with specific, topic, in order to, because it's joyful, to share our thoughts together in this exciting development. So Isis, thank you very much
Thank
to be here, and looking for to have the next interview soon. So Ciao, ciao, Isis, and see you soon.
Thank you, Antonio. Bye bye.
Ciao, Isis.